to Feed Me in the Forest, a channel about nourishing your body and soul through all the wonders of nature, real food, and herbal medicine. As you can see, we're having our first accumulating snowfall here in eastern Pennsylvania. I don't like cold weather. I like being warm. I'd rather be down in Florida enjoying the hot sun, but I'm here and just enjoying all the beauty of nature today. It really is beautiful. So we're supposed to be getting about 1 to 3 inches of snow today, and then it will turn to rain. So is the weather in eastern Pennsylvania around this time of year. And then it'll be a nice, beautiful mess of slush. In this video, I'll take you along to the amazing Allentown Fairgrounds Farmers Market. I'll show you my grocery haul and my planned meals for the week. I'll also share with you my secret strategy to getting the most nutrients in your diet. Well, it's not really a secret, but it is stupid simple. And finally, at the end of the video, please stick around, you won't be sorry. I will share my recipe for a gluten-free, lower-carb pancake. It's delicious. Stick around, and let's go off to the farmer's market. Today I'm at the Allentown Fairgrounds Farmers Market in Allentown, Pennsylvania. This market has been around for 71 years. You can get all sorts of foods here, fresh breads, prepared foods, even moonshine and wines, locally made. You can get all sorts of baked goods. There's Amish bakers, all sorts of meats, fish, seafood, cheeses, tons and tons of fresh, beautiful, delicious produce. I love the old-timey vibe of this market. At the other end of this market is even a dollar store and a small grocery store. I love that there's counter service at some of the restaurants. You can just hang out, grab a bite, have some lunch. You can even grab a cup of coffee. You get all sorts of different flavored burgers and sausages. You name it. If it's food, you'll most likely find it here. They are only open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. This is my haul from the farmer's market today, and I also stopped at the grocery store to pick up some things that I did not buy at the farmer's market. So at the farmer's market, I spent about $22, and I got a pound of beef cubes for some stew. I got 2 organic chicken legs, some pastured eggs, and some fruits. The rest is from the supermarket. And at the supermarket, I spent around $45. I got some beautiful organic purple potatoes, sweet potatoes, some regular red potatoes back there, and a variety of other fruits and veggies. So for about a total of $67, I'm going to eat very well for 1 week. And I just cook for one person. I do live with my husband and daughter, but they eat very differently than I do. They tend to be a lot more carb heavy. They are both vegetarians, and I am not. So we all decided we would just cook for ourselves. Here are some of the meals I made with my grocery haul from the farmer's market and the supermarket. The first is a beef stew, and I used some of those red potatoes, some carrots, onions, garlic, some broth I had in the freezer, and those chuck cubes I got at the farmer's market. It's really delicious, and I made 2 for the fridge to eat this week and 2 more to keep in the freezer. And I'll probably make a little bit of gluten-free bread to mop up some of the gravy. So I roasted up those 2 chicken legs and thighs in my convection oven. They came out really nice and crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside. So the one I brought for lunch at work yesterday, I combined it with one of the sweet potatoes and the beet greens and some of the grapes. And then with the other one, I chopped it up and made a chicken salad. So I'll probably bring that to work for lunch tomorrow. Bring some crackers and some chopped up veggies to go with it. This is a delicious salad I made with some of that arugula. I added roasted beets, some mandarin oranges, feta cheese, pecans. The dressing is simply oil and vinegar with some seasonings in it. And with the salad, I also had a can of kipper snacks. And if you're not familiar with kipper snacks, they're simply herring fish that have been split and smoked. If you like fish, I would suggest that you try them. They're really delicious. They go really nice with the salad. They're a great source of protein and omega-3 fatty acids. I find it satisfying to watch that collagen powder dissolve into my coffee. Anyway, this is one of the breakfasts that I made. It's 2 eggs once over with some avocado, some beef bacon, broccoli, a handful of the berries, and the cantaloupe from the farmer's market. So what is my secret strategy for getting the most nutrients in your diet every day? Here it is. Focus on nutrient diversity and nutrient density. If that sounds complicated, it's really not. All you have to do is eat the rainbow every day. You've probably heard that before, and I don't mean this rainbow. If you know, you know. Herbs and spices are nutritional powerhouses. I like to include copious amounts of them when I cook. Wild foods that you go out and forage are the most nutrient-dense foods you can possibly eat. These are things like dandelion greens and flowers and nettles. Just be sure to have a positive identification on any plant that you eat and make sure that they have not been sprayed with chemicals. And with plants like stinging nettle, you need to make sure that you know proper preparation techniques because they do sting. When you cook them or dry them, they do lose their sting, and they're really good. They have a strong spinach flavor. So you can get a good idea of what nutrients a food contains simply by its color. So let's start with green foods. The color green might indicate that your food contains lutein, which is important for eye health, isoflavones, which potentially reduce the risk of certain cancers, flavonoids, which are antioxidants, chlorophyll, which may have neuroprotective effects due to its antioxidant properties, vitamin K, which aids in blood clotting and strengthening the bones. Some of these foods include green tea, leafy greens, salads, herbs, peas, broccoli, green beans, green peppers, avocados, and Brussels sprouts. These foods also may be beneficial for cardiovascular health. The color yellow might indicate that your food contains bioflavonoids, also known as flavonoids, and also vitamin P. Although vitamin P is not a vitamin, it has a wide range of benefits, including antioxidant effects, reducing inflammation, for cardiovascular and metabolic health, and much, much more. Many yellow foods contain prebiotic fiber, which plays a role in digestion, nutrient absorption, and immune function. Some examples of yellow foods include ginger, lemons, pineapples, and bananas. Yellow foods often benefit the gastrointestinal tract and digestion. The color orange might indicate that your food contains carotenes, which support vision, immune function, and reduced inflammation. Asparagine, which is a bioflavonoid with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Flavonols, which are a subgroup of flavonoids which contain antioxidants. Terpenoids, which possess many benefits, including being anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant, and also vitamin A. Examples of orange foods include squashes, carrots, sweet potatoes, cantaloupe, turmeric, oranges, and mangoes. The color red might indicate that your food contains lycopene, which is a powerful antioxidant and supports heart health, the skin, and the eyes. Red may also indicate the presence of ellagic acid, which is an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, and vitamin A. Red foods include tomatoes, red berries, pomegranates, red cabbage, beets, and watermelon. These nutrients may be protective against cancer, neurological issues, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and obesity. Anthocyanins give purple or blue foods their color. These have many benefits, including cardiovascular support. They may reduce the risk of cancer and type 2 diabetes. They may also contain resveratrol, which supports cardiovascular health. They're neuroprotective and potentially have anti-aging effects. Examples of purple or blue foods include grapes, blueberries, figs, purple potatoes and purple sweet potatoes, purple cabbage, and plums. Many of these foods are helpful for cognition and mood. Black foods also contain anthocyanins and antioxidants. These include black beans, black rice, black sesame seeds, black olives, and black figs. White foods often contain flavonols. Garlic and onions especially contain quercetin, which may help protect against chronic diseases, support immune health, and is also anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. And they also contain allicin, which benefits the immune system and supports cardiovascular health. White foods include garlic, onions, apples, coconut, parsnip, and cauliflower. Here's that gluten-free pancake recipe I promised you. I use a flour blend of coconut flour, almond flour, and oat flour. The first thing you want to do is melt some butter in your frying pan. Next, prepare your batter. This is for one person, one serving. So I mash up half of a banana. You want to mush it up really good so it's nice and mushy and smooth. Scrape it into your bowl. Add 1 egg. I like to use the pastured eggs with a nice bright orange yolk. Beat it. Then I add a good tablespoon and a half of ricotta cheese. That adds some protein and moisture. I don't measure really when I cook. I kind of cook by eyeball. So you just want to add approximately 3 tablespoons of the flour blend. And also in that flour blend, I have some baking powder, baking soda, a little bit of salt, and some xanthan gum. And I add some of my vanilla whey protein powder, and it's pasture-raised, grass-fed protein powder for some extra protein. And it also gives it a nice vanilla flavor. There's some stevia in it as well. You mix everything up. Now when your frying pan is nice and hot, you want to add your batter. You may have to add a little bit of liquid to your batter if it's too thick. You can use some apple juice or just some water. And I usually just have to kind of spread it around flat in the pan. You can do 1, large pancake like I usually do, or you can also do several smaller ones and stack them. Then you want to gently flip it over until it's nice and browned on both sides. Add a slice of butter on top. Let it melt in, spread it around. I love this Kerrygold brand of butter. It's from grass-fed cows imported from Ireland. And once you taste that, you'll never go back to your regular store-bought sticks of butter again. It's so delicious. And you can add any toppers you like. I like to put the other half of the banana, just chop it up. Then add some blueberries on top. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of lemon extract and poppy seeds to the batter. It goes really nice with the blueberries. Then I'll just add a few broken up pecans to the top. And just a little drizzle of pure maple syrup. And there you go, my recipe for a gluten-free, lower-carb pancake. It's not super low carb, but it's probably much lower carb than your traditional pancake. It's a perfect breakfast on a cold, snowy morning. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you've been inspired to add more colorful fruits and veggies to your diet. And just remember, there is no one diet that's good for everybody. Everyone is different. Your perfect diet might be based on your age, your activity level, your gender, and even your ancestry. I find the subject of nutritional anthropology very interesting, and that's simply eating based on what your ancestors traditionally ate. I find that works pretty well for me, eating sort of a Mediterranean diet, heavier in proteins and fats, but with lots of fruits and vegetables. My ancestors came from an area where there's abundant seafood, and I do tend to feel better when I eat a lot of fish and veggies. So you experiment and find out what's best for you. What's best for you may not be what's best for me. Sometimes you just have to do some experimentation with your diet. I found that I do not do well if my diet is very carb heavy. I was vegetarian for maybe about 15 years. My health wasn't great. It wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I decided, well, maybe I should just go vegan and cut out all dairy. So I did that for about 3 years. That was a very bad idea for me because I just felt worse and worse. I decided that I would slowly start adding some more animal proteins into my diet, and I'm so glad that I did because I felt 100% better on that type of diet. And it just takes some experimentation sometimes, and putting away your moral beliefs and giving your body what it really needs. I had a very wise teacher who once said, your body doesn't give a hoot about your moral beliefs about eating animals. Your body needs what it needs. And I didn't want to believe that. I dismissed it for a very long time, and I paid for it with the way I felt. So thank you again for watching my video. I'd really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and share to my channel. See you next time on Feed Me in the Forest.